Hi, welcome back. Today in this video we are going to learn about V model. The second phase is V model. Okay, let's go into it and learn what is V model and how what are its advantages, disadvantages, what are its uses and etc. So I have prepared a documentation for better understanding of you. So here is the documentation. I am going to explain you each and every step. So wait, let's see. So what is a V model? V model is actually it's in the shape of V. See here, if you could see, it's in the shape of V. The all the development and testing phases are arranged in sequentially executed. Like all the phases of SDLC and STLC are in a sequential manner that it forms a V shape. Okay, and V model is an extension of waterfall model. Okay, if you remember, in waterfall model we have discussed few drawbacks, right? In V model, these drawbacks are rectified. Like how are they were rectified? V model is also called verification or validation model. Okay, and it is executed in sequential way. Development and testing are in a sequential way. For every development activity there is a testing activity, so it's a sequential way. So in this way, what would happen is, when the development starts, then at the same time testing starts. So uh, there will not be much wait time. Like there will not be a scenario where one phase has to completely be done and then only it has to go for the next phase. No, that situation will not be there in V model. So in V model, for every test development phase there is a testing phase. Okay, so before going into the structure, let's discuss something about verification and validation. What is a verification? Verification is to verify if the software that is developed is as per the requirements or not. So in verification, what we do, the developed software is as we will test it if it is as per the requirements or not. Okay, whereas in validation, the product that is being developed will check if it is meeting the requirements or not. So both sound bit similar, but both of them are different as well. In verification, the actual code is executed, whereas in validation, the documentation part is will be taking place, like requirement analysis, KTs, knowledge transfer, refinements, meetings. All this comes under validation. Whereas verification, it is where the actual code is run and we will test that the QA team will test if the product that is developed is as per the requirements or not. Okay, now coming to the structure. What is the structure? Let's see the structure now. See, if you could just zoom it, just have a look at this V model. First comes the requirement or design phase, the requirement phase. Okay, from requirement phase, if you are seeing, there is next step, that is system design. Okay, but if you could see these arrows, okay, just have a look at these arrows, because these arrows indicate the flow. Okay, all the development activities and the testing activities are linked up with the code. Now first I will ask you, why are they linked up with the code? Because you think, if there is no code, will the application be developed? No. Will there be a testing activity? No. So coding plays the key role. So coding is the connecting part. Okay, from coding, so before it comes to the coding, there should be a requirements as well. So requirements plays the top priority. So coding is the connecting part. Requirements is the first step. Okay, from requirements comes the system design. System design, architecture design, module design. Okay, actually what happens is after the requirement phase is done, the module design will be started. After the module design, there will be an architecture design and then a system design. Why? Requirements is to take the requirements that you all know. So why the module design comes in the second phase is, second step is, modules are a small chunk of the functionality, okay, of the whole project. The small part is called a module. So these modules can be carried anywhere and everywhere. So modules are the small part of the project. Let's say the project is WhatsApp, or let's say the project is some email. There are different modules. You can compose, you can view the sent mails, you can mark the emails starred. All these are the different modules. Okay, so these modules are designed first. Then comes the architecture. What is this architecture? Architecture is to what we say, it is the flow of data between two modules, two or more modules. The flow of data, the connection part. If you see, once we compose an email and click on send button, where you will find your email, it will be in the sent box. If the email got successfully sent, it will be in sent box, else it will be in out box. So that flow of data, so the email that is sent is in sent box, or if it fails is in out box. So this flow is there, na? That is the architecture actually. The flow of the data is called the architecture. So architecture designs tells about the flow of data, how the data has to flow from where to where, from point A to point B, point B to point C, in that way. Okay. Then is a system design. What is a system design? System is if you are looking at a compose email, the whole compose email becomes a system design. Okay, system. There will be two types of testing. I forgot to tell you earlier. One is system testing, one is end-to-end testing. System testing is to test a single module, whereas end-to-end testing is to test the entire application. Okay, so system design consists of a part of the project or some functionality. Is called a system design. Then coming to the testing phases, there is a acceptance phase. Okay, actually there is a system testing first. Let me tell you. Wait, see, there is an acceptance phase, acceptance test at the top. Why? And it is linked to requirement design. Why it is on the top, the acceptance test? Because requirements to be analyzed and accepted by the stakeholders. By the stakeholders in the sense BAs, project manager, leads, QA, development, everyone considered. So first comes the acceptance test. So next comes the system test. System test is linked to system design. As I told you, system test is to test a particular functionality or a module of the whole project. It's called a system testing. And then comes the integration test part. Integration test comes parallel to architecture design. And what is integration testing? It is a testing of the flow of data between two or more modules. It is called integration testing. So comes to the unit testing. What is this unit testing? Unit testing is performed by the development team. It's also called as white box testing. Okay, white box testing. So this is performed by development team. So what is this unit testing? Let's say let's say there is a compose email. Okay, in the compose email there is a there is a pin that shows the attachment of the files. So to test that particular attachment, there will be some part of code. Okay, to test only that part of code is called a unit testing. I will show you here. Give me a minute. Let me open it. It's taking a bit time, guys. Give me 1 minute. Actually, my system is good. God, why it is blank page? Okay. It is loading. So please wait. Be patient while it loads. Because this is some important example. Let's see one of the examples that I want to give, so that you would understand what is a unit testing. So why do you need to understand what is a unit testing? It's because it's not only for the interview purpose. It's also because you need to know what testing you are going to perform. Okay, so I'll say compose email. When I say compose email, it's again loading. See, compose email. In the compose email, we have something called attachment. So here we have attachment. So this attach files, how does this particular icon comes there? So this will be developed. I'll show you. There will be some part of the code that you could see. See, this is the some part of the code. Okay, this is the HTML code that I'm showing here. But in the back end, there will be a code for this particular pin, that is attach files. So if a developer is testing only the attach files code, let's say some 10-15 lines of code or 20 lines of code for the attach files is there, and he is testing only that part of the code, then it is called a unit testing. Okay, so this is the V model, guys. Okay, every development lifecycle and testing lifecycle is linked with the coding. And in development lifecycle, we have module design, architecture design, system design, and above all requirements. And whereas in testing part, we have unit testing, integration testing, system testing, and above all acceptance testing. This is the architecture or the design of a V model. Let's see the uses. What are the uses? So when is V model used? V model is used generally if the requirements are completely fixed, like client will not come and change the requirements. They are completely fixed and they are clearly defined. Then only we can use V model. Okay, V model cannot be used for complex projects. It can only be used for small and medium projects. Okay, when we have technical resources and their expertise. Okay, when we have technical resources and their expertise, then only this model can be used. See, if the technical resources are not available, or expertise are not available who can understand and explain the project, trust me, V model cannot be used so easily. Disadvantages. What are the disadvantages of V model? So, it is not flexible. Why it is not flexible? We cannot do the application. See, we cannot develop the software in small chunks. So, it is not flexible. So, and it is not suitable for complex projects, as I said. Development is done only in the implementation phase. That is, in the development or coding phase only, we will be developing the software. Hence, there will not be any prototypes to show the client. What are these prototypes? These are the samples to show the client. Okay. If client wants to change any requirements, what they have to do? They can change the requirements easily, but testing team has to change all the documents that they have designed or written till that date. Okay. Why testing team has to change? Let's say client has asked for some XYZ changes. Anyhow development will have the code change. Okay. Coming to testing, we have to change all the steps, all the test cases related to that particular functionality. Okay. Again, testing needs to be done. Again, if the testing was already completed by that time, we have to we have to change all the documents like bug defects, defect tracking, and all the activities that were performed. Everything needs to be changed. Okay. So these are the disadvantages of V model. So V model is useful only when it is small or medium projects, but for complex it is not used. So you might ask me now, or you might think, what is the model that could be used for complex projects as well? Okay. So that is the agile model that we are going to discuss in our next video. Okay. See you guys. See you on next video.